Welcome back to Suzanne's Shop, where it's always a good time to have tea. Today, we are going to be looking at this wonderful looking thing here. This is, they call it pine needle green tea. It's made by the Great Mississippi Tea Company from Brookhaven, Mississippi. We'll put a link below that will shows them how they basically process this tea. I think it's the process is fairly similar to certain cinches. So we're going to see how that goes today. I think it has a little bit of an earthy smell. What do you think?
Yeah, it smells a bit earthy.
A little bit earthy?
Strong.
Okay. All right, so anyway, we're going to got my cup warmed up here. I got 3.5 grams of tea here. What?
There's water leaking out the bottom. Do you have the tray
Oh,
on?
yep. It overshot. move Bob back some. All right, so let it kind of steam there a moment. Yeah, I got a little, I don't know, kind of smells a little bit of pumpkin to me there.
Huh. That is bizarre.
Do you smell pumpkin?
Yes.
I smell pumpkin too.
I smell a bit of pumpkin, earthy, and pumpkin. It's so weird.
All right. Well, I suggest doing this at 175 degrees. We're going to rinse it off real quick. And Bob will get his share here. Okay. And now we'll do a rinse smell. Yeah. Still getting that pumpkin smell to me.
Yeah, still got a smell here.
Okay. All right. Well, you know, all these things are warmed up. Let's kind of empty them. And it's recommended about 20 seconds for the first infusion. All right, so here's the first infusion. It's fairly light colored.
Looks nice. Yeah, looks like a nice yellow.
It's
It looks like a floral yellow.
kind of fairly pale in color, but again, it's the first infusion. There's that sweetness. Really fresh. Light on the tongue. I can feel it coating the tongue, where sometimes it's kind of wash right over it. I do get a light coating.
Yeah, it's pretty fresh.
Trying to figure out the best sort of a sweetness this is. Maybe sugar cane. You know, probably a sugar cane type of sweetness.
Maybe it's more on a creamier type of sweetness.
A creamy sweetness. Okay. Oh, we're finishing those cups there.
Coating on the mouth.
Look at those leaves there. Already starting to unfold. Some very bright green.
Yeah, compared to the beginning, they were really like before they looked kind of like porcupines kinds.
Let's give Bob a little bit of tea. Did you want a little bit more? Okay. Now I'm going to get one more. Bob, you get the rest. Yeah. To me, it's a very, very light flavor. that has a certain sweetness to it. Not terribly grassy, I don't think. If you get a grassy notes to yourself? No? Okay. All right, so that's the first infusion. Of course, we're not expecting a whole lot out of that. That was really nice. All right, now this one's supposed to go about 25, and then each subsequent one for about 25 seconds. And you can see the color, you can see the leaves really starting to expand out there. All right, I think that's about 25. Oop, let's see what we get here. So the bottom of that was a little wet. Okay. A little bit darker color this time.
Starting to go in banana territory.
There we go. Mm. Yeah, again, very, very light, not astringent. Really don't have a whole lot of astringency to this.
Getting more sweetness this time.
More sweetness.
Getting
Yeah.
way more than this time. It's like double.
Yeah,
Like
it's
way more noticeable.
definitely a sugarcane type of sweetness, I think. Mm. What do you think of aroma? You're gonna get any notes in it in your doesn't have that forest taste or aroma anymore.
I
Seems
think it's still getting like the sweetness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe like a nutty sweetness.
Nutty sweetness?
I'm not sure. It's not one that I really experienced before. I'm not sure.
Add a little bit more. Let Bob have some. I'll have a little more. I really like it. It's very light. I like it. It's not real astringent. Some green teas are very astringent, and of course, if you like astringency, that's okay. And sometimes I like that too. It's just that tea flavor, and very prevalent in most green teas. Oh, we know we haven't moved Bob.
I'm sure
This is a third infusion.
Goodbye, Bob.
All right, so let's move Bob over here to point number 3. So
Yay, Bob's still
move that
looking
out of
at
our
me.
way.
Yay, Bob's still looking at me.
Yes, Bob's still looking at you.
Yay.
Okay, so you can still taste it in my mouth. So I mean, it's finish is kind of long. All right, that was the second infusion. We got a fairly long finish. It's still there. Right about the middle of my tongue, I do feel a slight astringency there. It's just kind of right there in the middle of my tongue. I don't know about you.
I'm mainly getting my flavor on the outside of my tongue.
You're getting some flavor. Well, that's where your sweet buds are, so that
Like
makes
all
sense.
the outside, not just the front, but like all around the room essentially.
Mm-hmm.
On my tongue, that's where I'm getting.
Yeah. Well, that's your sweet buds are right there on the edge, I believe. All right. So we're going for the third infusion here. Leaves are really, really opening up here. This one's still a little bit, another degree or two darker. So let's push and count the leaves opening up more.
Getting even closer to banana.
There we go.
Banana looking.
I'm starting to get some grassy tones here.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit, but I'm still getting that sweetness.
Yeah, still hitting strong with the sweet part. I'm definitely getting some grassy tones here, Bob. It's still very light, although it's like I said, the finish is light. Not, maybe, I'm not sure if it's juicy. Would you say juicy or thin?
It's right in which it's like I think it's slightly leaning towards juicy, but it is very thin and light.
Yeah, it's thin and light, but kind of juicy. And the finish is long. It really kind of stays there with you there. It isn't just like you just, you drink it, you taste it, boom, that's gone. No, you just let it sit there. Don't put anything else in your mouth for a little bit after a few sips. And I think you just started to get some astringency notes there. Very, very light. Just kind of makes the tongue alive, and where you can feel it. And it's kind of along the edges of the tongue, and again, they're kind of right in the center of the tongue. Again, I'm getting some sensation there. It's kind of interesting.
It's mainly towards the tip of the tongue, but that might be because that's the first place that's getting hit by the hot tea.
True. Give Bob some more. It's just two of us today, so Bob's getting more for himself today. Yeah, that finish is really nice.
Yeah, I decided that wherever I'm getting the sensation for this tea, it appears that changes depending on where I pour the tea into, like where tea ends up when it gets poured into. Because I put the cup further in my mouth. I tried to put it on the middle of my tongue, and I did. And that's where I'm mainly getting most of the flavor now.
Okay.
So I'm getting the sensation still a bit in the front of my mouth, but then the back is getting some good flavor.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really getting a much more activated tongue as these cups go on. You're supposed to start off at the very center of my tongue, and then it kind of went along the edges, and now it's just kind of all the way, about halfway back the tongue now. I'm feeling that the slightest stringency, just kind of saying, "Hey, I'm here. Pay attention. Don't forget about me." But it's not very strong. It's not very strong. And there's Freddie. Apparently, there's a squirrel out there that's not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Could be a deer, though. We've been having some deer at this time of year.
Yeah, there's deer on our neighbor's lawn.
Yeah.
Just a few days ago.
Saw some ducks. Freddie, hush. All right, so let's see. You see, the leaves are really getting expanded here. We're going to the fourth infusion. The leaves, like I said, yeah, these leaves are really filling out now. It's pulling out here. Look at that. See that? I mean, that's a nice whole leaf. Barely broken at all. I'm gonna find some other ones in here. Let's see. Yeah, so there's a leaf and a bud. Right, so that's the bud. That still hasn't opened up yet. And there's a nice leaf there. Oh, very nice. Really appreciate tea companies that produce whole leaf tea. They're all broken up and everything.
Makes it way easier to pour into the. I can't remember.
Gunbaidun or something like that, right? The
Yeah,
judgment pot, the sharing pot. That's what this is here.
Yeah, the fairness cup.
Fairness cup, yeah.
I don't have my iPod in me, so
I think it was Gunbaidun. Sounds kind of right, doesn't it?
I need to charge my iPod, so I don't have the answer to that.
You don't.
I left that page up though. I didn't close it out.
Good.
So.
Fourth infusion still going strong.
Getting a bit more of that natural, grassy kind of.
Although it might be a little bit lighter than the previous one, but the taste is still all there. So this is the fourth infusion. Remember, 3.5 grams.
I think I'm getting a bit more of the forest in there.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. really rounding. I have this nice coating on the tongue. A little bit more for you.
Yes. I must have more tea.
All right, there you go, Bob. Really nice coating on the tongue. You can feel it kind of stays around, so you got a bit of a it's a long finish. Maybe not as thin as I was thinking, but definitely juicy, soft. Soft might be clear. The astringency has kind of gone back some now. It's no longer as much as it was for the third and fourth, or the second and third one. Bob here over here for the fifth one.
I wouldn't say soft because
No.
it's more because that would imply that it's more between juicy, dry, thin, and thick.
Okay.
It's more leaning towards thin and juicy.
You think thin and juicy? Okay.
Yes,
Well,
it's like borderline thin and juicy. I think right around there, personally, because it's very light and it's also pretty juicy.
all right.
I guess you could say.
Move it out the way there. All right, so we're going on our fifth infusion, and generally this type of tea goes for about 5 infusions. We'll probably go to 6 or 7. We're going to push it as we normally do here because, well, we're cheap and we want to get as much flavor out of this leaf as possible
And we'll find out whether
because
it
it's
can
not
go
cheap.
And we can find out how far it can go,
We'll find out how far it can go. That's right.
especially the specific ones.
So now they recommend a teaspoon per 8 ounces at 175 degrees and steep for 4 minutes. But the way this tea is shaped, I think it's kind of hard to get a teaspoon, right? So that's probably about 1.5 grams if you want to weigh that out. Okay. Let's grab your cup. And
I really like these cups. They're really nice.
cheers.
I'm getting like this flavor first thing. It's like bang. But I'm not sure what that flavor is.
Well,
Maybe sweet forest?
yeah, well, the sweetness is starting to go away now. I'm not getting as much sweet taste as I was before.
I think it might be could be described as like sweet leaf, sweet forest.
Sweet forest.
I guess you could say.
That might be more of an aroma than a flavor.
Oops, I spilled some of my tea.
I don't know. But still getting flavor there. Stringency still there lightly.
Can I get another refill?
Want some more? Need some more to try to figure out what you're tasting there.
Yes, very much so.
Okay.
This is very strange. What are you tasting? Flavor-wise.
Probably the grassy. Probably maybe straw flavored.
I think mine's leaning towards forest-ish. And
Forest,
I'm still
huh?
getting sweetness, and I'm still getting forest.
Okay.
Kind of like
The forest floor, huh? Yes,
not
it's
just forest floor, I think it's like forest in
Okay.
general.
forest in general, and the tongue,
Yay, compensation.
the tongue action is still going on there. It's not letting me forget that I've drunk some tea.
It's very good.
There's a little sweet note there.
I like it.
Wow. Okay.
It's been a very subtle tea the whole time, pretty much.
Fairly subtle, yeah. It's good. All right, let's move to 6. We'll see if we can pull out a 6 out of this one.
Yeah, it's a subtle tea. Subtle compared to most of our other ones.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very good. that type that you want to be subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, you know what I mean? You kind of want it to be subtle,
Yeah.
but it's very good when it's subtle. I don't know how it would be if it was less subtle. Like, how do you get a stronger flavor? Do you decrease the amount of water?
Well, there's two things you could do. You could add more tea leaves, or you could brew it longer, or let it steep longer, right?
Could you give it less water? Would that get more concentrated?
Yeah, there's kind of similar effect, yeah. So, but that's kind of the same thing as taking away water is like it's the same thing as adding more tea, right?
That's why I thought that was going to be the second.
But in order to have enough tea to drink, it's probably better to add more leaves than take away water, right? So, all right. Now this thing is like really full now. I mean, the leaves are all pregnant, all fully expanded. It's wonderful. I just really love whole leaf tea. Ah, wow. All right, pushing it for number 6. Probably a little more than we should be going for. 5 is the recommended number, but each tea is different, so we'll see how far we can push this one. Oh, I got some more sweet out of that one. It's very good.
At first, I'm tasting bitter, and then it's going sweet really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It's strange because the front of my tongue is now tasting like a bit more bitter,
Mm-hmm.
and a little bit, and then the rest of my tongue is tasting sweet and forest.
Sweet and forest. Okay.
So maybe the front's just tasting like wood or a muddy lake
Yeah.
combined with wet.
I think I'm changing mine to not the straw, but the wet grass. Wet grass. That's.
Yeah, that might actually be it. That might be it.
If you haven't mowed the lawn when it's wet, you won't know what that is. So go mow your lawn when it's wet. But watch out because you could slip and fall and like have the lawnmower run over you. So don't do that. All right, be very careful. Do you want a little more?
Or just smell it out in the morning. That would be more wet forest, you could say.
Okay.
Which is how wet forest would be a taste, Dad.
Mm.
Because you smell it outside. When it's just rained, it's
Yeah, that's
beautiful. I love it.
still carrying us some flavor there for us. It's not giving out yet. We're gonna go to number 6.
So I'd say that number 6 is safe to try.
We'll find out.
Well, didn't we just do number 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're right. This will be 7.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you for reminding me. Oh yeah, I'm gonna grab your cup there.
So yeah, number 6 is safe. And we'll find out what 7 is.
Yeah. So if you buy this tea, you're good for 3.5 grams, 175 degrees. You're good for at least 6 infusions. We'll see if 7 still stays with us. I'm gonna probably let it brew just a little bit longer. They give it a chance to go because I mean, once the tea's petered out, I mean, there's just no amount of brewing you're really going to get anything decent out of it. So, oh yeah, I just love that. That's just see that. Oh, nice green. I mean, that tea is really green. This is from this year. It's from this spring.
Ooh, it is?
Yes,
Nice.
or summer, possibly summer. I'm not sure what they. I'm gonna put a link into the company there. They have a video on them processing this. Very interesting. And so this is from the nice red clay of Brookhaven, Mississippi, from a former pine tree farms.
Oh, maybe that's why I'm getting this forest taste.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were the guys that had this company. Had this land that they got from their family and the farms, and they were trying to figure out what they could do. They really didn't want to do tree farm anymore because it's a really long. I mean, that's like a 25-year each crop, right? So, and they were looking at what's we have very acidic soil caused by the pine tree leaves, needles, and the like, and they found out tea grows really well on acidic soil. What a great match. Yep. Well, I'm still getting flavor here. Number 7.
Yeah. Can I get a refill?
It's good. Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Getting more of the wet grass flavor. Not as there's still some sweetness there.
Yeah.
Not as strong as the first 3 or 4 cups, but it's still there.
Yeah, I think it might be wet grass. I'm not sure. It's like
Yeah.
wet grass or forest, and maybe the forest comes from the fact that they were growing wood there.
Yeah. And this is not terribly astringent at all. I mean, some green teas can be really astringent, even though you put them down at a very low, just keep it at 175.
Yeah, I'm getting a bit more stringency here.
But it's not very. I mean, it just lets you know, hey, here's that tea astringency that you should be expecting, but it's not very hot, not very thick, right? It's just kind of light. You know, like, hi, I'm tea and I'm astringent, right?
Yeah, and I'm not getting that in my throat. I'm just getting it on my tongue, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not getting nothing in the back. Right? It's all on the front of the tongue, the first half.
For me, it's more like past the tip. It's more to like the rest, like towards the back of the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
But it's much more comfortable than the back. Personally, for the back than the back throat stringencies.
Okay.
Me personally, 'cause I don't really like the back throat stringencies. I'm comfortable.
Okay. Well, there you go. I made at least 7. We're going to stop here for today. We might go for another one after we finish recording this. And well, if it sounds like a tea that you're interested in, those flavors interest you, like, feel free to look up the Great Mississippi Tea Company. I'm going to put a link down below. And also, if you enjoy getting these, please like and please subscribe, so when we get a new tea to try out, that you'll know about it. Blessings on your day, and remember, it's always a good time for tea.